watched a video today that showed members of the Houthi rebels landing on a cargo ship. They came in on a helicopter. They swarmed this cargo ship that's Israeli-linked, and they took 25 people hostage. And the first thought that I had when I watched that, Senator, was how many terrorists have come across our border. And when and if, I pray that this doesn't happen, but we don't see a similar sort of situation here in the United States. What do you think about that?
I think that the southern border is an open, bleeding wound. Since President Biden and Vice President Harris have been in office, about 8.4 million people have come into our country illegally. That's 4 Nebraskas. We don't have the slightest idea who they are. Why is that? Because this administration believes in open borders. Why is that? Because this administration has embraced the neo-socialist woke wing, loon wing of the Democratic Party. I mean, just look around. The American people may be poorer under President Biden, but they're not stupid. They see an open border. They experience inflation. They see the rampant crime. The American people look around and see the world on fire, the war in Ukraine, the war in the Middle East, the embers smoldering in China, and they have concluded that, fair or unfair, Martha, I'm not saying that this is accurate, but I can read a poll, and the American people have concluded that President Biden is old, and he needs soup and an early bedtime. And they have concluded that Vice President Harris is not capable, that when her IQ gets to 75, she should sell. Again, I'm not saying that's fair or accurate, but that's a conclusion today that the American people have reached.
Well, we certainly
pretty disgusting.
Yeah, we certainly see polls that suggest that they're not doing well on a number of fronts. As you know, my question goes to the 150 plus people on the terror watch list who've entered this country through the border situation that you were just discussing. There's also a lot of concern in our cities, and New York City is now slashing police and education budgets, which led Cardi B, who I played a soundbite from her the other just a half hour ago, saying that she wouldn't support President Biden anymore because she doesn't want to see city budgets slash in order to deal with an overwhelming migrant situation in the city. So what's the impact of that on cities that have been typically Democrat voting? Do you think that we will see an impact on that in the coming election?
Well, I hope so, especially when the border problem can be solved very quickly. I'll come back and talk about it if you want, but 70% of the people coming in illegally could be prevented by adopting what's called a safe third country policy, which frankly we had under President Trump, but we don't have under President Biden because he abolished it.
All right, Senator Kennedy, thank you very much. Yeah, that policy meant that you had to declare asylum in the first safe country that you got to, not go through several of them until you get into the United States in order to declare asylum. So we'll have more on that. Thank you very much, Senator. Always good to see you, sir. Thank you.
The Biden administration sucks.